Oh, eh, um, good evening, guys. Please, can you hear me?
Please go ahead, sir.
Maybe we can ask you that. Oh, can you hear me? Is my question. But that's implies you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir.
Eh, you sound cold. Am I the only one? I don't tire.
We can hear you. We waited. Didn't know the class we even hold you again.
Our class has been starting. Our class has been starting by 9:30 now. It's just that you guys you've not been noticing.
I didn't
Our class has
notice.
been starting by 9. It has been starting by 9:30 because of fasting and all. Before I'll break and I'll rest, time don't go. So 9:30 usually. But after fasting, I think we should go back to normal time regardless. Anyways, my voice is low, Abby. I don't tire and I'm not even feeling too fine. But anyways, over time now, I would, I would, I would definitely increase the tempo as we continue. I'll increase the tempo. Don't worry. Anyways, Igbo should not be cool. Igbo should be happy. Igbo should be dancing, be jumping, because we are here again today. We are here to come and learn Almighty SFM. And I must know this SFM by force by fire. By next diet, I want to retire from Apex. So I need somebody else come and take it. Come and take over from me. And I want it from this diet. So I must know this SFM by force. If I make I open my head, I wanna put it inside. I don't mind. But I must know this SFM by force by fire. Hey. Oh yeah, you are welcome to class. Káàbọ̀ sílé agbára pa àṣẹ about that guy TikTok. You are welcome to class today. So, first of all, where do I even start from like this? I feel like not like we've taken too much time, anyways, but I feel like we need to speed up. We need to speed up. Time is going, or time has gone. Don't let me say time is going. Time has gone. So, but I need to speed up. So, I'm going to round up investment appraisal today. No round up investment appraisal. Sorry, round up MPV today, by the grace of God. So, say next week, I would start APV. Then APV Max, you should take me 2 classes. It depends on how I take time on the introduction, anyways. Introduction is the only thing that takes my time so much. So it depends on how long I take on the introduction. But APV should take me maximum of 3 weeks. The international capital budgeting should also take me like 2 weeks. There's nothing in international capital budgeting. It should take me like 2 weeks. So that's like 5 weeks. That's like a month. Let me cut it down. A month. That's the whole of April. I would see if I can talk to Mr. Kabiru, if it's possible, and I will look at my schedule. If it's possible, if I can fix extra class for myself, I will let you guys know if it's possible. Because even me, I don't think I have enough time. But I'll try to sketch something out. If it's possible, I think I want to fix extra class for you guys. Because the way this is going, I don't think I'll cover. The way it is going, no, I don't think I'll cover. So I might need extra class. So I'll talk to him if possible. So maybe I can get maybe one weekend, maybe Sunday. You guys are students on Sunday. No, I have something to do on Sunday. Maybe Saturday. I'll talk to him, regardless. Anyhow it says, I'll let you guys know. So that being said. Number 2, I also noticed some of you were skipping the theory part of SFM, because I think there was somebody I was talking to and I was asking the person some things. And the person was looking dumbfounded as if, is there theory in SFM? Please and please and please. I've been shouting since, and I'm still shouting again. Only theory can make you pass. Okay, only theory cannot make you pass, but only theory can give you, say, good 30 and good 40. I'm not even joking. Only theory, like you did not solve anything. It can give you good 30 over 100 or good 40 over 100. So if you know all this small calculation that we've been patterning, if you know small, either you know bond valuation and it come out, good for you. You know portfolio theory and it come out, good for you. God now want to bless you finish. You now know cost of capital very well. And you know investment appraisal very well. Mergers and acquisition, you know it very well to a very good extent. Believe me, your mind know that you have passed. And you know your theory back to back. And like the back of your hand, you have passed though. So don't ignore the theory part, please. Please. I beg. Don't ignore the theory part. Like you guys know, SFM is not just calculating. You read too. So please learn your theory part so that you can move well. So that's number 2 thing I want to say. The last thing I want to say is not the last thing, but like the third thing I want to say is that assignment. No food where I no chop. There is no food that was not cooked. Chop beans, chop spag, chop Now they cook fire. Everybody just wear apron, enter kitchen, just they cook within them like. I saw some people's assignment. I open mouth. Now me teach you this one. Say now me really teach you this one. Please, I had to ask somebody. Please point to where this method you use. Point to where it is in your material. That it is me that, or in the video, just record it and send to me. That it is me that use my mouth to say do something like this. Now they fear me. Now they really fear me. But a good number actually did very, very well, Sha. A very, very good number did very well. Even the ones that did very well was after plenty voice note. Now I want to use voice note in Germany. Was after plenty voice note. But anyways, because I'm a nice person, I decided to come and solve the assignments in class. Because of there are a lot of keys and locks in that question. You know, when I said it last week, some of you were laughing now. When I said there's a pattern to it, say unago hook. People will do rubbish. I will now come to class. I will now come and solve it. When I said it that last week, so people were laughing. See it now. So I'll solve that question. I think we have about 6 questions or 7 questions in our question bank. So I'll solve about that question. If time permits us, I don't think time will permit us, I would solve one more. But the last 2 questions are the thickest. The last 2, that's question 5 and 6, I think so. They are the thickest. So you will know the drill now. So you will go and solve that one. It's not solved, just attempt. Just basically attempt it and then let me see what you have. Just basically attempt it and let me see what you have. The question 5 is kind of straightforward. But questions, it's actually straightforward. You just need to think and start from the basics. If time permits us, I can run you guys through how to go about it anyways. So I think that's all I have to say majorly, Sha. Any other thing I'll be saying at the end of the class. Okay, I also noticed something. When I sent the working note, I think I sent the wrong working note. I had a lot of calls over the you should pity me now. I had a lot of calls over the weekend about the working note. It was an honest error. I think I sent the one that we were using. I think I sent the one that we're using. Not. It does not include the last lecture. I hope I've not even deleted itself. It does not include the last lecture. So most of you were just calling me to say that I think Washington PLC, I'll be written is not there. I mean, I could not even check or confirm. The weekend was very long, so I could not confirm. People just call me. Please, what's the okay? I think it should be this. When was our last class? No, not this one. 2020. Formally, this what date was our last class? Where is the now? Have you?
19.
19. No deal. Let me check what cannot. So what was the name of the material? What was the name of the? Let's see me again. Oh, I don't think that's in saved though. I think my system died that day. I don't think that's in saved. Before 19 was Wednesday. Now we had class on Monday.
Investment decision work.
I think it should be this, but the last one that saved was on the 10th of March. That was a long time ago. That's a long, long time ago. What now happened? Oh, Jim. Ah. We've done a lot after this one. Where do we go from here now?
Maybe if somebody has a nice note, they can send it to you, and then you can send it to the group.
I think that's the best. That's what we'll do. Or better still. It's not going to even work. Or better still. Somebody sent like before the last class. I think there should be one class before then that I've sent the working notes. Let me check my email. Somebody should send that the one before this last one I sent. I think that one should be a little updated. So we'll use that one. Then I would maybe I'll use a new one for this particular question. So you join the two together. Then you will just know that it's just that Washington PLC that is not here. I just hope somebody wrote it down, because I think in the last class was it only Washington PLC we did. And I think we solved that.
Then
issue
we have
now.
to do the
Yes,
correction
on
of the
Monday.
assignment.
So you just know that's the only thing that is not in that material. So anybody that has that written in the notes can just scan and send. You guys understand what I'm saying? So what I'm telling, I just need somebody to do this for me. Somebody that has been consistent in class, just do something for me. The material I sent before I sent this last one, that one should be updated to a very, very good extent. The one I sent before I sent this last one was just 5 pages. Is this one I have? So just send that to me. I think it should be in PDF form. Send that to me. If you now have a very, very good note of our last class where I solved Washington PLC, and I think I did solution of ARR, please also send that to me. So I'll just combine the two and forward to all the group chats. So I know that, okay, that solution of everything we have on working. So this one that we want to solve today, I will just solve it on a plain note. So I'll just call me solution to assignment or something. I'll just solve it on a plain note. Then from there, we'll move on. But the only problem with this now is that I don't have anything to copy from. This my copy and paste no go work today now. This is a lot though. So I'll start all these tables again one by one. Oh, Tim. This is bad. What now happened? How did that thing get missing? Come, let me check somewhere else. Maybe it's saved, but this is everything here now. Check. Hold on, 30, 20. Okay, I think this is still Monday. 20. Okay, I think this is it though. Hold on. It's only still 5 pages now. Oh, okay. This is not the Washington PLC. I don't find out.
Yes, that's it, sir.
Me don't. I found it. So I'm going to delete. Or is there need for it? I delete the other one. So it's in my desktop, not my document. Okay. Anyways, I found it. So this is the Washington. So this one I'll send for. So there's no need for that person. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. So let me now say, what's the name of this company? Baba Adonhabi. Solution to assignment. For majority of people that did this assignment actually tried. They were just where I thought you guys were going to get it wrong. You guys actually did not get it. Let me tell you guys something that you don't know. Today, I think I wanted to, I don't know what I was trying to do, but I was looking for a question for myself during my study time. I was looking for a question. I was going into I can't pass question. Then I noticed that most of the questions we've actually solved in class. I knew before that most of these questions that we're actually solving in class are actually from I can pass questions. If anybody has noticed, most of the questions, because I saw the one or two questions we solved on bond valuation in I can pass question. I saw about 1 or 2 questions we solved on portfolio theory in I can pass question. This Baba Adon is also in I can pass question. If you check number 6 of our question bank, also I can pass question. So what we are doing for you, we are also solving those questions. We're also solving those questions for you. So Don't think I'm just creating questions. It's copy and paste. I'll just copy it from my past question, and I'll come and paste it, and I'll come and solve it for you in class. Because that's just basically what we're doing. So you're in the best hands. Don't worry, and you will pass.
Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody please read
Amen.
it. Well, you have to read. Though.
Amen.
There's no. This will not be a main matter. It's reading. Oh yeah, somebody, where's that material now? Somebody should read that question for us. Oh, capital investment decision. I think this is it. I'm correct. Yeah, somebody should read it for us, please. Yeah. We don't have time now.
Which of the questions, sir? Sorry. Okay, but okay, can I read? Assignment. Baba Idom PLC, a listed company based in Ibadan, Oyo State, has been involved in producing boats, but excluding the engines. The company is now considering diversifying into the production of a major component of outboard engine. For this purpose, the company has recently purchased the patent rights for 15 million to produce the component. Baba Idom plc has spent 20 million naira developing prototypes of the component, undertaking market studies. The research studies came to the conclusion that the company will have a significant commercial potential which newer components would come into the market, and the sales revenue from the component would virtually fall to zero. The research studies have also found that in the first 2 years, the development phase, there will be considerable training development costs and fewer components will be produced and sold. However, sales revenue is expected to grow rapidly in the following 3 years, the commercial phase. It is estimated that in the first year, the selling price would be 2,000 naira per component, the variable cost would be 800 naira per component, and the total direct fixed cost would be 6 million naira. Thereafter, while the selling price is expected to increase by 8% per year, the variable and fixed costs are expected to increase by 5% per year for the next 4 years. Training and development costs are expected to be 120% of variable cost in the first year, 40% in the second year, and 10% in each of the following 3 years. The estimated average number of outboard engine components produced and sold per year is given below. All figures are assumed to be correct. Machinery costing 480 million naira will need to be installed prior to commencement of the component production. Baba Idom plc has enough space in his factory to manufacture the components and therefore will incur no additional rental costs. Tax allowable depreciation is available on the machinery at 10% on straight line basis. The machinery is expected to be sold for 160 million naira at the end of 5 years. The company makes sufficient profit from its other activities to take advantage of any tax loss relief available from the product. Initially, Hawaii Idom plc will require additional working capital for the project of 20% of the first year's sales revenue. Thereafter, after 1 naira increase in sales revenue, we require 10% increase in working capital. Although this would be a major undertaking for the company, it is confident that it can raise the finance required for the machinery and the first year's working capital. The financing will be through a mixture of a rights issue and a bank loan in the same proportion as the market values of current equity and debt to capital. Any annual increase in working capital after the first year will be financed by internally generated funds. I think, is that all? There is no required. There's not required. Is this part of it, sir? Twice PLC? No.
Yes, it's part of it.
It's part of
Okay,
it.
Twice
When
PLC
wait,
is a
wait first, that
listed
means
company.
hold on. That means you did not solve it.
I did not solve it though. I
As you
won't
don't even
publish
know,
it. What
you
I
don't even know.
said you said we should just do was the ARR of that other one we did, and I didn't know this was part of the assignment.
As you don't even know where the question is. Please continue.
Twice PLC is a listed company involved in the manufacture of outboard engine for many years. Additional data, extras from statement of financial position, all figures assumed to be correct. The loan notes of Twice PLC are quoted at 102 naira per 100 naira. Other data, tax rate applicable to Baba Idan and Twice PLC is 20%. It can be assumed that tax is payable in the same year as the profit on which it is charged. Estimated risk-free rate of return 3%. Historic equity market risk premium 6% required. Given the information on Twice PLC and the project financing mix, including any other relevant information, calculate the project-specific cost of capital. Assess whether Baba Idan PLC should undertake the project of developing and commercializing the major components of the outboard engine, assuming a discount rate of 12% as being applicable for the assessment, irrespective of your calculation in above. State any three relevant assumptions made for your calculation in A and B above. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm on this question, Tico. You see, now I allow man to read today. People did not complain. No.
He has a
The
sexy
men in the house now.
he has a
Which one
sexy
be
voice, that's why we allowed
which
to.
kind talk? Which kind talk be has a sexy voice? I beg. Men in the house now no go complain. No, is the day I don't allow. Now you people be saying a man they do man. No wahala. No one. Anyways, you have shock. I've changed. That's why I've changed for good. Anyways, thank you very much, sir. That was nice. Some other question tick. See how many minutes we used to read itself. So I told you guys something in my first class, not first class, now last class. I said that there are questions that if you see in exam for the first time, believe me, there's 60 or 70% chance you fail it. I'm not even joking. No. If you see them first time, if you see it first time in exam, 60, 70, 80% you fail it. But if you've solved questions like that, that's why I feel like my ICANN journey was a little easier because Pathfinder was my friend. I had the soft copy. I don't like to do hard copy, but like I had the soft copy. I was always with it. I was always reading it here and there. So like when I got to exam, for me to find question that I've not seen a pattern like that before, it was hard. That I've not seen something like that. Because when I even wrote SFM, I was not an SFM guru. I was just like every one of you, and it was my first attempt also. I was just like every one of you. But the only thing is I already solved past question to a point where I don't know. If I see question, I know I've seen something like that. I knew the way they did it in the past question solution. So like it was easier for me to work with. That's what I'm saying. It got to a point, if you bring a question to me, I already know, like I know the year, but like I can remember where it is in the past question. I might not know the year, but I know the way it is structured in the past question. So please try to open your Pathfinders. I know it's discouraging because it will spoil what is your hand, but that's why there's solution. Go to solution, go and see what they did there. Then go back and attempt. So please let's solve past questions a lot. So thank you very much, sir. So let's go back to the question. Let's break it down. And let me point out where you guys made some mistakes for you. Now let's start from the very, very beginning. The listed company, okay. I know you guys know the answer, but let me still ask. Don't let me assume. This has in investigation assumptions queue. If you've watched Richard, that's Richard's line in investigation assumption queue. So don't let me assume, but I know you people know it. But if they say a company is listed, what does it mean? I know you know it.
Quoted in the Nigerian Stock Exchange market.
So they are quoted.
Each shares are quoted.
Thank you. So it means they are quoted. It means their shares are up for sale in Nigerian Stock Exchange. It means you can just enter the NSE and say you want to buy their shares. That is what it means. And it also means that if you check Google and you check the name of their company there, you should see all the items of their financial statement on Google because they are publicly listed. Anyways, so that is what that means. Let's continue. Now let's break this question down. Let's start from our sales, which is the first thing we'll do. So this is where I noticed some mistakes also. So in the question says that it's estimated that in the first year, selling price will be 2,000 per component, variable cost will be 800 naira per component, and total direct fixed cost will be 6 million naira. Thereafter, while the selling price is expected to increase by 8% per year, variable and fixed costs are expected to increase by 5% per year for the next 4 years. Now listen to me. You see this about 3, 4, 5 lines. It has changed the dynamics of the question. It has changed the whole composure of the question. This is already another question. How is it another question? They said that it is estimated that in the first year, notice in the first year, most of the ones we've been doing, we are the ones, they are telling you that as at now, they are giving you a selling price. How would I say? They are giving you a selling price as at now. And don't forget, I've told you that. Sorry, let me go back to, let me make the comparison with Washington. Let me comparison with Washington. Watch out for what is done in this Washington. See Washington, they told you that, okay, see the sales price in year one. See the sales price in year one. Now read what they said with the inflation of the old grammar. They said that selling price inflation rate are expected to be 5% per year. So it means that the growth is starting from year one, because it is per year now. The growth, you can say, so you can comfortably come here and say 2,000 multiplied by 1 point, whatever the inflation rate, maybe 1.05 raised to power 1, because it is per year. The growth is going per year. So that means the growth is every year. And let's go back to this question. This question is telling you that in the first year, selling price will be 2,000 naira per component in the first year. So what it means is year one is already 2,000. You do not need to grow it anymore. Students, year one is already 2,000. They've given you all the variables for year one. There's no need to grow year one of all these variables anymore. Because they are telling you that in the first year, selling price, variable cost, fixed cost will be this amount. Then thereafter, so any growing you want to go needs to start from year 2. I don't know if I'm speaking grammar. Any growing you want to go, it needs to start from year 2. And where you are even growing in, so your year 1 now is already 2,000. So you can comfortably say 2,000 multiplied by, let's say 1.08 raised to power 0. And raised to power 0 is 1. So that it gives you back that 2,000 naira in year 1. I don't know if I'm making sense. So year 1 is not going to change. It has to be 2,000 naira, because the question expressly tells you that in the first year, selling price will be this. So when you now get to year 2, a hair growing can now start. So once you now get to year 2, you can now say something like 2,000 multiplied by 1.08 raised to power 1. Because you are going it for the first time then. You are going it for the first year like that. That's, what's the name? That number that is always on top of growing. When we say 1 times 0.5 raised to power 1, 1.05 raised to power 2, 1.045 raised to power 3, the 1, 2, 3 that is on top of that 5, it is not because, how would I say it? See what I'm trying to say? It is not because of hold on, it is not. I just want you guys to picture my explanation better. That's why I'm trying to use figures. When we grow these things that we go, this 0, 1, 2, we are not going it based on this number that is written up here. Let me leave working capital. We are not going it based on this number that is up here. Some of you might think that maybe because this one is under 1, that's why we are putting 1. This one is under 2, that's why we are putting 2. This one is under 3, that's why we are putting 3. Not exactly. All those growths are based on they are based on the differences of the years. What I'm saying is, if you put something in year 0, you are going into year 1. It means that as at that year 1, not basically because of what is written here. I hope I'm making sense. So now let me go back to the question. They already grew these things for you, so you do not need to go from year 1 basically again. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to go from year 1 again. They already gave you figures for year 1. So your growing should start from year 2. That is that for that. Now, what other thing did you guys make mistake with? So your initial outlay is 480 million. Okay, another mistake I noticed generally was this straight line basis. Now, I like this question so much because it's different from what we did. It's different from what we've done in class. It's straight line basis. Now, the two mistakes I noticed was that students kept on doing reducing balance. Please don't set question for yourself. What examiner did not say, don't do it. It is a straight line method. Just use a straight line method. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you a scope. Whenever you hear straight line method for this invest, please, are we together? Whenever you hear investment appraiser and a straight line method, please, first thing should come to your head. All your capital allowance are going to be the same figure, except from the last year. Put that in your left hand, don't use it to it. If you are using left, put it on your right hand, don't use it to it. If you are using the two, put it on your leg, don't use it to it. If you are using your leg to it, I don't know, maybe you should put it on your ear or somewhere that you shall will not forget. Whenever you see straight line method, know that your capital allowance, everything will be the same. That's why it's called a straight line. All these things make sense. It is a straight line. Everything is supposed to be the same. It is straight on a straight line. And all your figures will be the same thing in your capital allowance, even to your tax saved. Even your tax, if you are saving 48,000 throughout the year, you're charging 20, all of them, they will give you the same figure now. So even your tax saved are supposed to give you the same figure, and they're supposed to be on, except from the last year, anyways. Because the last year, you do sales proceeds and all this, except from the last year. So, but they will give you the same figure. So that's one mistake I noticed students kept making. Some people kept doing reducing balance. Another mistake I noticed was students were doing, somebody did, which is not as if it's bad, but it's just not properly understanding the question. What somebody did was, somebody did the cost, which is this 480,000, which is the initial outlay, subtracted it from the, subtracted it from the sales proceeds of 160,000, then divided it by the number of years to get the total amount of what you are supposed to use. Now, my challenge or my problem with that is, my problem or my challenge or my reservation with that is, that would have been correct. Listen to me, that would have been correct if this particular percentage is not there. I don't know if you guys, if you just say, okay, they use straight line basis without giving you percentage, that would have made sense to do. But the question has abstractly told you to use 10%. What are you doing this for? They have told you to use 10%. You don't need to do any of all those. So if you do that, what is this 10% now for? But if this 10% is not there, fine. What you did, absolutely correct. So, but because of this 10%, it changes the dynamics of the question. So that you don't start doing cost minus. Just use 10% and move on with the question. So that's another mistake I noticed. What other thing? Working capital. Okay, but before I even go to working capital, there's also another mistake I noticed. This training and development cost. Is it a sunk cost? I'm asking the class now.
No, it's not. It's not a sunk cost.
No, it's not.
Why do you say it's not a sunk? But it's a training and development cost now. We've incurred it before the project.
It is also incremental. No, not incremental.
Is that the reason? Are we supporting her, or is there anybody that believes otherwise?
For development to happen, that means the business has been there now. So
It does not need to be there now. Development can be anything. If I want to buy a piece of land, I don't know. Development can even be anything. It does not need to be. It does not need to be. How would I say it? I'm trying to put something in place. It does not necessarily have to be because it doesn't necessarily have to be building something or something has happened. I'm trying to look for an example, but they come. But not because the business has been there.
Sir, because they have been attached a variable cost with it. It means it goes in line with the production. I don't know.
I don't know what's happening in my head. Most of these things people said I could have on a normal day. If you said I did form, I would have picked example for it, then you guys would have understood based on your answers. But I don't know. The examples are not coming to my head.
what I thought, why I feel it's going to be included is because I felt like they acquired a new machine, and the training and development
Mm.
cost is like moving alongside to the use of that machine. So if they don't learn how to use it, they'll be unable to work with it. That's why I feel it's going to be included.
That makes sense. You're looking at it from that
Me, I
perspective.
thought
It makes
that because
it makes a whole lot of
expected there. I
because
thought maybe because it's future, something that is not actually, it didn't happen in the past. It's something that is happening in the future, and because of the variable costs and it's incremental in nature. So I thought that's why I should use it.
okay. Naturally, you actually passed all those tests you guys mentioned, which is very, very fine. But left to me, my own opinion, I feel like the
Sir.
highest test.
Sir, it was stated hope that the research study have also found that in the first 2 years, the development phase, there will be a considerable training development cost.
Mm.
So I think that is why I added it to the course.
No, well, I'm still saying the same thing, but although that is not, but just listen to me. In my own opinion, I feel like it is more the test, the highest test, or the highest test that it could pass, that could make it work for adding it to the end, to make it add to the net present value, is the fact that, see, now I've told you something. Most times, if ICANN wants to set question, they would, most of you like to assume, just assume this one, assume that one, assume this one. It's fine to assume. But before ICANN will give you a question, that it will be based on student assumption, apart from IRR anyways. And I feel like that's why they don't even test IRR that much, because it's based on student assumption. Before they will give you a question that will be based on student assumption, it will take time. You know what I mean? Do you know how many people write this exam? Imagine hundreds of thousands of students assuming things. So it will be like we are assuming a lot of things. So now it will now be in examiner's hand, because it will now be based on examiner's discretion to mark it, which is not fair enough, because examiner that the wife did not give food will come and mark rubbish for you, will be angry. But if there was already like a set guideline, it's difficult to go off that guideline. So what I'm trying to say, before they can give you something to assume, it's going to be very, so in your exam, don't just think, okay, this one is for me to make an assumption. Now, in that question, training and development cost, for me, it is more included because look at it now. They told you that, I've told you that sunk cost, yes, sunk cost is not, I mentioned it in the first class. Sunk cost, yes, sunk cost is sunk cost. Sunk cost is past cost. Sunk cost is not irrelevant cost. But the moment a sunk cost becomes incremental, it automatically becomes relevant. So what it means is, for it to be, what it means is, let's say, okay, we spend all the money we've spent throughout the years, about 1 million for 2020, 1 million, 2021, 2 million, 2023, 3 million, like that. They now say that, okay, there will be a training cost, or let's even say they said that we've even incurred. I'm now using past tense now, before the business, we've incurred a particular cost. Now, the cost we've incurred is not part of the project because we've spent it, so we cannot now go and remove it from the inflow. We'll go and capitalize it. For people that did FR, we'll go and capitalize it. Now, that training cost that we've incurred, let's now say, they now say, okay, that money will now grow in year 1 to 20. So what it means that money that we spent before the project, we are also going to spend it during the project. Before it was previously, but they now say it will grow. And it growing means that it is going into that year of the operation. So it means that even though we've spent it in the past, we also spend maybe additional, a growth in the year of the project. Look at this one. I say training and development costs are expected to be 120% of variable cost in the first year. So it means that even assuming we spend this training and development cost in the past, but even in the first year, we are still going to incur this particular cost. So it becomes a part of the project. So if looking at it from your FR perspective, so it means that this training and development cost is an expense which you will remove from your gross profit, so that you can have your net profit. But if it was not under the project, if you have incurred it in the past, there's no need to incur it in the life of the project. Please, it's majorly because this is incremental. If there is no 40% in the Kinecon, 10% in the Kinecon, 120% in the Kinecon, please do not include it. If that training development has been incurred, let it be incurred, just ignore it. But because it's already incremental, it means it is now part of the what? part of the project. So it needs to be taken account of. So that is that for that. Lastly is working capital. Now, this working capital is very simple, but the only thing that throws students off, that made people confused in this working capital is just one thing. Where is it? I don't find it again. Working capital. Okay, see it here. What actually throws students off in this working capital majorly is this line. Thereafter, everyone increase in sales revenue. That was where problem started. Okay, what do I do from here? It's very simple. They've told you that it will require additional working capital of 20% of first year sales revenue. If I were you, I'll go to my sales revenue, bring out all the years, bam, do 20% of them, bam. Then every ₦1 increase. You see this grammar, it's just grammar. It's just to throw you off in an exam condition. What it's saying is take the differences. That is basically what it's saying. Take the difference between them. Now, let me give you guys an example. Let's say I have 10,000 naira. Then Mr. Isaiah has 20,000 naira. I have to tell Mr. Isaiah now has 20,000. I'm not talking to somebody and I'll say, okay, for every ₦1 increase, somebody, okay, let's I'm not telling you for every ₦1 increase in my money. How would I give that example now? For every ₦1 increase in my money is the difference between my money and his money. I don't know if I'm making sense. I have 10,000 naira, he has 20,000 naira. I'm not telling somebody that, okay, for every ₦1 increase, I don't tell the person the difference. That the difference between me and the person, this is it too. But I have 10,000 and he has 20,000. I'm not telling the person that for every ₦1 increase in my money, it makes the difference between our money. Like it makes the difference between what I have and what he has for every ₦1 increase. It's very simple. Now, it's just me telling the person between my money and his money, count every ₦1 increase. So ₦1, ₦2, ₦3, just the difference between 10 naira and between 20,000 and 10,000. Every ₦1 increase between them. Obviously, it's 10,000 naira now. So it's just basically telling you take the difference between 20,000 naira and 10,000 naira. Easy peasy for every ₦1. If it was for every 2,000 naira increase, fine. You would have taken 2,000. You would have taken the 10,000, then maybe divided by 2. Yes, now they have taken the difference between them, 20,000 and 10,000 naira. That's 10,000 divided by 2. So for every two naira increase would have been what? Would have been 5,000 naira. That's basically what that is saying. But for every ₦1 increase, it's basically telling you to take the difference. As simple as A, B, C. There is no problem with the question. Very. Somebody even called me and told me the question is not correct. As how? So that is basically what it means. Please, do you have any question to ask me? Mr. Shedrack, talk to me, please. I'm taking these questions real fast. Please, I need to. Mr. Shedrack, oh yeah. Miss Luciana, you want to talk to me?
Please, the differences. You said I should always divide it with the difference that they said, the amount, the increase in the working capital, because I was so confused in that regard.
I'm not saying you should always divide it, though. Don't get me wrong.
No,
there was never a point.
Okay, please. If I what I understand is that
just calm down. Just calm down and listen to me. Relax.
Okay.
Just relax. There was never a point I said divide it. Don't divide anything. What I'm just saying is this question is a ₦1 increase. ₦1 increase is simply telling you the difference between the two of them. Between this figure, maybe year 1 figure and year 2 figure, just the difference. Because that's every ₦1 increase in them now. What is telling you, okay, I have 20,000 naira. Somebody else has 10,000 naira. Now count, be dropping ₦1. God of mercy, I won't take blue this grammar. Be dropping ₦1 naira to show the difference between them. That is basically what Anna told you with 2 naira increases. If somebody has 20,000, that person has 10,000, then the ₦1 naira growth between them is 10,000 naira. What will not be 2 naira growth? If it was 2 naira, you would have just taken the difference and divided it by 2. If the question says for every 2 naira increase, if the question says for 2 naira increase, take the difference divided by 2. If it was 3 naira increase, take the difference divided by 3. But this one is every ₦1 naira increase. Even if you take difference and divide it by 1, it will still give you the difference. I did blow too much grammar. I don't know if you understood anyway.
Yes, I understand that in that aspect. Then, am I going to grow the difference again?
Are you going to grow the difference? There's no need to grow the difference now. You already took Now
from
let me answer your question. There's no need to go the difference. Why is there no need to go different? I also saw that in people's work. Thank you for taking me there, madam. There is no need to go the difference. Why is there no need to go whatever? I've told you. You see that difference, that growth thing that we do. That's why I told you guys. You need to understand why we do some things. You see that difference that we go whenever we do 1.05 raised to power 1, 1.05 raised to power 2. Put it in your calculator. Do 1.05 raised to power 2. See what it gives you. It gives something like 1.10. Now, what that simply means is that what we are trying to do there is, if you look at those questions very well, they will tell you, look at this variable cost very well. Now, let's use this as an example. Selling price is expected to increase by 8% per year. So, it's only 8% they gave us for year 1. We don't know how many percent in year 2. I don't know if you're mentioning what I'm saying. They only give us a growth rate for year 1. We don't know for year 2. That is why we do all those goals. That's why we do 1.08 raised to power 1, then 1.08 raised to power 2, so that we know the growth rate for year 2 or the growth rate for year 3. But if you look at this question, they already told you the growth rate now. They already told you that, okay, working capital or the project will be 20% of the years. They know that, okay, it will require 10% increase. 10% increase in working capital. They already gave you the growth rate. Say, okay, 20% in the first year, 10% in the second thereafter. There's basically no need to go it again now. They've given you the growth rates. If this was not there, you could have started growing. But you already know your what's the name? You already know your growth rates now. So you don't need to do that 1.08 raised power 1, 1.08 raised power 2, anything again. Once you found a percentage, that percentage is basically the growth rate. It was because we do not know the growth rate of the remaining years. That is why we always do 1.05 raised to power 1, 1.05 raised to power 2, blah, 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 blah.
Please, I don't see get that point that you are saying. Because in the question here, they said thereafter, every 1 naira increase in sales revenue, which you've explained, will require a 10% increase in working. That's the 10% increase. That's the English I want you to explain for me. I'm not getting the
That's the English I just explained now. When I solve it, you see what I'm saying? Mr. Salam, please. When I solve it, I'm sure you see it. Mr. Salam, please, your question, please.
Sorry, sir. Thank you for your time. I actually wanted to ask for your number that we are submitting the assignment. I think I actually got the assignment from my end. So, but I think someone has dropped a number now. Thank you.
Mr. Shedrack, you want to tell me something, please, real quick? Okay, so let me just solve the question. Time has gone. Ms. Basirat, please, I don't like the way you're unmuting your mic if you don't want to tell me anything.
Oh, it was a mistake. I didn't know.
Okay, so let's solve. So the question is quite bulky, so I might need you guys to call those figures for me real quick, please. I beg. You have solved, I would have solved, please, so that we'll be fast with it. So let me say working note. So this is what I was running away from. See, I should not gonna start drawing all these tables again. Let me get that energy. Somebody's unmuted and is disturbing my class. Mr. Isaiah, I could come out you now. You know, say me and you are not friends. You're unmuted and you're disturbing my class. Mr. Isaiah, I'm my guy. Every day I used to have a guy, and I don't know how and why. People that used to disturb me. See, how many years do we have in the question, please? We
5
5
years.
years.
5 years.
So I already explained to you. They said it's going from the year 1 is already 2,000 now, so there's no need to do year 0. They don't need to do year 1. They just come here. You say year 0. This must give you 2,000 naira. It now come here and you say year 1. Come here, you say year 2. You come here, you say year 3. People that are just joining my class, this is how I like to copy you. Sorry. Let me get straight to the type all these things again. Okay, you see year 4. So this gives you 2000. What's my year 1?
2,160.
2060.
8%, sir.
The
Is it
inflation is
8%.
yeah.
No vex. This is the problem of not solving question before class. It's the day we will solve question in this class and it will not balance. That's the day problem will happen. Next one.
2333.
2333. This one.
2519.
2519. This one go.
721.
Go.
2721.
2721. What's our selling price? It's 2,000 across the board now, have you?
Yes.
2,000. 2,000. 2,000. Please 1 minute. Let me try something. Hold on. I want to try something. So 2160 multiplied by 1.086 power 1. Oh, okay. I want to give you guys one trick, but I'm sure we'll confuse a lot of people. So don't let me even just go there. Make I just leave them. Oh yeah, give me the units.
15,000.
So let me get it up by 0015.
40. 100.
40.
120. And 190.
190.
Yes.
Yeah, call the figures from year 5.
516,990.
516,990. Your phone call.
302,280.
302,280.
233,300.
233,300.
For 86,400.
6,400.
30,000.
30. Thank you very much, madam. Is your husband you marry?
Amen.
So you're 2. Sorry, I say you're 8. So I don't go do. So the next one now, variable cost, have you?
Yes.
So you say variable costs. So what's my variable costs?
Variable cost is 800 naira per unit across board. Then inflation of 5%.
800 naira across the board. 800. 800. 800. 800. Inflation is 5%, have you?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's my incremental variable?
800. 840.
Continue. I'm active. Don't worry.
800. 840. 882. 926. 927.
920. So what do you call the last one?
972, sorry. 972.
So my total VC.
No, yeah. Incremental VC, the last one, is 972. Then the output is 190.
Okay, I changed the wrong one. So what is my stuff? My total? Okay, 5.
184,680,000.
Go.
For year 4. 111,120.
1.
Another one.
1.
20. Yeah. 88,200.
88,200. Number.
33,600.
88,600. Number.
12,000.
So fixed cost, huh?
Yes.
How much?
6,000. It would be 6,000.
What's my inflation? Is this your 5%?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. So this is still 6,000.
Yes.
Should be like 6,300.
Yeah. 6,615.
6,615.
6,946.
6,946.
Then 7,293.
Multiply by the output, have you?
Yeah. That's 6,000. No, you're not multiplying by output.
No, you're not multiplying.
You know, I don't tell you where down. If I don't tell you where down like that, I suppose they fear. Yeah. Training and development cost.
Training and development costs.
Let me copy this one like that. I want to kind of output. This is why they always put investment appraiser in number 1 sometimes, because you work and you sweat for your mark. You know how many minutes it takes before you calculate all these things.
Or measures and acquisition.
I don't. Measures and acquisition doesn't even take time up to investment appraisal. Measures and acquisition, they are formats to it now. This one there's a format, but this one takes a whole lot of calculation. If it's 3 years, another case. All these 4 5 years, it's a problem. Oh yeah.
So you didn't correct the 8% for that of sales. It's still remaining 5% there.
Change it now. Is it not it?
Yes.
So
5%. Is it the inflation? Is it 5%?
No, it's 120%.
120%.
Yeah. 40%, 10%, 10%.
40%. 10%. Yeah.
This training and development cost here should not be variable costs, because we are going to times to the inflation again.
1.
1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1.
Yes, we are using variable cost.
Grandma, you hear me? Oh.
It's supposed to be variable cost at the first.
I got the one for the training, 14,400. I don't know if I'm correct.
Yes.
Madam,
So that
hold on
place
with your
supposed to be variable cost 12,000, 33,600,
Yes.
33,600,
88,200 in here.
88,200,
111,120.
120.
184,680.
184,680. Yes.
Yeah.
So the training and development cost, the first one is 14,400. 13,440.
13,000.
440.
Is it 140 or 440?
444. 8,820. 11,120. Then 18,468.
18,468.
Yes.
Okay, the training and development for year 4 is 11,112, not 120.
Okay, yeah.
It's 120.
Like this, I mean?
Yes, 112.
11,120.
112. It's 112.
Yes, sir, that's the correct one, 112.
My friend, capital.
Yes.
So, working capital, let's start from my total sales.
30,000.
30,000.
86,400.
86,400.
233,300. 302,280. No, 302. Then 516,990. 516,990.
So, what's my incremental sales?
So from
For year 1, nil.
it will be that. For year 2, we have 56,400. 56,400. 146,900. 68,980. 214,710.
You see this thing you've done here? This is the you see that grammar of for every 1 naira. That is what you've broken down here. That whole statement, that is what you've done here. Say for every 1 naira. It means that for everyone, somebody is unmuted. So what it's saying is for every 1 naira. Okay. So what that thing means is for every 1 naira in this 30,000, this thing has gone to 86,400. It means that for every 1 naira increase, so if you count 1 naira, 1 naira, 1 naira, 2 naira, 3 naira, 4 naira, 5 naira, 6 naira, between this, what will you have? That means you count on 1 naira 56 times, 56,000 times 400. That is for every 1 naira increase. What I was not saying that time, even the questions told you that for every 2 naira increase, just take this difference. That is 56,400. Then you will not divide it. You will bear. You will divide it by 2. So that is for every 2 naira increase. That means 1 naira twice. That means 2 naira. If the question was for every 3 naira increase, this minus this divided by 3. That's what that is simply saying. But because the question is for every 1 naira increase, simply just means the difference between the two of them. Difference between this and this, difference between this and this is what you've said to there like this. Now, going back to the question now said that, so you've done that one, okay, for every 1 naira increase, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. It should be 20% of the first year. Working capital now should not be, that's your, this is your inflation rate. That thing that we're doing 1.05 raised per 1.02, your inflation rate, this is it. 20%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. So this is your, this is basically your inflation rate. What some people could have done is, let me explain to you so that I'm sure this is what some people could have done. People could have taken that 20% first. What I'm saying is you are taking 20% of 30,000 first, 10% of this first, 10% of this total first, 10% of this total first, 10% of this total first, before now charging, before now doing the incremental. So what I'm saying is if you have done this, if you are charged 20% of this, you would have had maybe like 6,000. This one you would have had maybe like if you charge 10% of this, you would have something like maybe like 86 8,006 something like that. 8,600 and 8,640. You'd have had something like that. So now, but the problem with doing that first is that is also correct. But you need to be very careful because of the movement. You need to be very careful. It will give you the same thing, but you need to be very careful because of the movement. That is where there will be problem because of movement challenges. Anybody can do it. If you do it, you will see that it will give you the answers will be the same thing. It's just the movement that will not be a little different. So that's why I always say, okay, do like this is better so that to avoid all those drama. So do the incremental sales first, then come and do the inflation here. So the inflation, you don't need to go it by 1 point anymore. Because this 20%, 10%, 10%, this 20% is also you saying 0.20 now. So that is also it's just like it's also like a growth rate. That's what I'm trying to let you know. So you cannot come here, you now say inflation. Abi. So if you say inflation here, you say, oh, it's 20%, Abi. Say 20%. You come here, you say 10%. You come here, you say 10%. You come here, you say 10%. And you come here and you say 10%. So yeah. So yeah, you say incremental, Abi. So yeah, you say working capital. Working capital.
6,000.
6,000 negative, Abi.
Yeah. 5,640 negative. 1,4,690 negative. 6,898 negative. 1,4. That one is 1,4,690.
I will change it. To
6,898. 2,1,471.
2,1,471.
471.
471. So what's the total?
5,4,699. It's going to be addition. It's not be brackets. It's not going to be in brackets.
Why?
Because that's the inflow of open capital recovered.
Some people would have admitted, some people would have assumed that what I did is correct because I'm the lecturer. No, I just put that there intentionally. I wanted somebody to correct me so I can ask why, so that I'm sure you know why we do that. Working capital is always recouped back at the end of the project too. We are relevant years. So these are our year 0.
1.
So let me remove all the underline. This is 0. Oh, I should have deleted it from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Le bâton. Please, let me do. Please, if you have question on working capital, please hold it. Let me do the tax savings so that I can take all questions together, please. I don't have time. Is this my number incorrect? 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's correct. So tax saved on capital allowance. Is I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy. Oh, copy. That's my working 6, Abby. So yes, item cost tax saved on capital allowance. What's my tax rate?
20%.
20%. So what's my cost?
480,000.
Now, please, what is 10% of 480,000?
It's 10% capital. That's 48,000.
48,000.
Now, because that is 48,000 and it is not reducing balance, it is a straight line. So automatically means that over the board, your capital allowance would be 48,000. If it was reducing balance, you could have done difference between this and this, come and charge 10% of it again, and that is it reducing. And that's what some people were doing. But because it is straight line basis, it is 48,000 across the board. So you come here again. I don't even want to know. Everything will be 48,000 across the board for all your capital allowance. It is straight line. If we did FR now, it is a straight line. So capital allowance at 10%. But you need to be very careful when you write this capital allowance at 10%. Some people will now come and be charging 10% on your answer again. No. What's my answer here?
That's 432,000.
432,000. What's my answer here?
384,000.
384,000. What's my answer here?
336,000.
336,000. I think I still have one more year now.
Yeah.
So this will still be 48,000. It's straight line. It's a straight line. That's why it's called straight line. Supposed to be the same thing. Tax written down value. So what's my answer for this one?
488,000.
So what do I now have? So let me do one more here. So you know, see, is year 5 now, Abby? Like the whole year, the project of it is 5 years now. It's 5 years.
Yes, 5 years.
You know, sales proceeds. I think it's 160K now.
Yes.
Is that a balancing allowance or balancing charge?
It is a balancing allowance.
Balancing allowance.
Why?
Tax written down value
Why?
is better than it.
What is it? But the sales proceeds is less than tax written down value now. Is that not supposed to be balancing charge?
Balancing
Question.
allowance.
If you would have said it too, anything you say in this class is correct.
That's 128,000.
Anything you say is correct.
Yeah.
Because you would have said that's the answer, and I've used it like that. If it's wrong, shout on you people. Oh yeah. So this is our straight line. So let's do our capital allowance on, or our tax saved on capital allowance.
That's 96.
It should be 96 across the board.
Yes. Then 25,600 for the last two. On the balance now.
One, two, three, four. 25, 6.
No, on the balancing allowance.
Sorry. Let me see if I don't tire. Let me show you guys one magic. It's not magical, but let me show you guys something. Somebody do somebody add all these figures together for me.
The tax savings.
Yes, the tax saved. I want to cross check my answer.
64,000.
64K. If this thing no work, it's a lot here. Somebody now do somebody do 480 minus the sales proceeds.
$320,000.
320.
Yes.
Okay, first hold that one first. Add all this capital allowance together. Did he give you 320? That is 48 plus 48 plus 48 plus 48 plus 160.
Is it going to be plus 160 or 128,000?
Okay, 48 plus 48 plus 48. The 448, what did they give you?
320. The 428 gives us 192,000.
192,000.
We had 128.
That's 320,000.
That's 320. Good. So what that means is that is our total. That's our total what? That's our total capital allowance. That's our total capital allowance. Now, if you now charge 20% on that total capital allowance.
That's 64,000.
Thank you. So that is me confirming my answer is correct. Okay. So let's go back to the. But nobody should ask me what I did. Because even me, no. Anyways, before I go here, please, if you want to ask me any question, please ask me. Miss Grace, what I think I've seen you before. I don't know where exactly, but I think I've read that name before somewhere. Oh, you ask me. These questions are plenty.
Sir, good evening. I thought the tax saved is 10%, not 20%. The tax save and the tax allowance charge is usually the same person.
Lie. I've explained to you now. Tax and tax saved is not. They're not the same thing now. Tax is tax. Tax saved is usually tax saved is usually the tax that is given to you in the question. Usually, the tax saved is usually the tax rate that's given to you in the question. But the tax for capital allowance is different now. The capital allowance is capital allowance. There's no tax saved. Capital allowance is capital allowance. Capital allowance can either be reducing balance, it can be straight line, it can be in that 10%. It was given to us as straight line. Sometimes it can be reducing balance. Capital allowance is capital allowance, it's like depreciation. You now do tax saved. Maybe we did taxation now. You now do tax saved on capital allowance. It's like you doing depreciation, so they're just allowing. So please give me 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm with you. So, like I said, tax saved is different from tax, is different from normal tax. Capital allowance, and tax saved is you check most questions. Sometimes it can be the same. I don't know our tax rate was now 10%. We could have used the same thing. And some people might be like, maybe it's always the same. No, it's not always the same thing. It's just based on the question. Miss Grace, are you fine?
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. The way these questions are too much, are you sure it's not good that we're going to do the MPV by yourself? Now you want to use questions to enjoy me. But yeah, Olanike, please ask me your question. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Please, I'm confused about this scrap value. They said the machinery expected to be sold for 1,160 at the end of year 5. And we are using year 4. I'm confused.
You used year 4 for what?
For the scrap value.
Where is that though?
On the workings, the table. Please check, sir.
Is it for this one?
Yes. The sales proceed is on year 4.
Okay.
No, sir, you don't need to adjust that. Where you made the mistake was you wrote year 4 on the tax written down value. The 4 is supposed to be on the capital allowance. Then the 5 was supposed to be on the sales proceed. I don't know if you understand me. In the calculation, under your year, for capital allowance, it's supposed to be year 4. Then the sales proceed is year 5, not the one you wrote for balancing allowance as year 5.
I was not even trying to adjust it. I was trying to perform one magic, but thank you for I think this is easier than what I would have done. What I would have done but yes, this makes sense now. Is it fine now, madam?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
You won't perform what you done there. Oh yeah. Miss Luciana Albert, talk to me.
Yes, sir. Please, I have 3 questions. First, is under the training. Please, let me see your schedule, please. The training and development cost. I don't know how you got this thing. Where is it? Yes. The training. How did you increase to get the 13? I got the first one, but I didn't get this 13,440. Is it by 1.40? I don't know how you got that one.
40% of this thing now.
For that, I should do 40% of 33,600 direct like that.
What did you want to do?
Do you understand what I mean?
40% of this now. I don't know what else you would have done. What did you do?
No, what I'm asking, am I not going to inflate it the way you are normally saying raise to power 1, raise to power 2? Am I not going to do that in the
That is what we've
development?
done here now. 40% of this thing is the going. I've already told you this thing. Like I still said it for working capital. Once they've given you all these discounts, all these factors, leave 1 point Kine coin alone. Once they've given you all this, they say, okay, something increased by 100%, 20%, 30%. I told you, all these things we are doing is just to get percentage for the next year. If you do 1.05 raised power 1, we give you a percentage. Do 1.05 raised power 2, we give you a percentage. So this is just to get the percentage. But unfortunately for us, in this particular place, they've given us the percentage. So there's no need to do 1 point Kine anymore. So once the percentage are given to you in the question, there's no need to do all those things anymore. Just do 40% of whatever you're supposed to charge it on.
Okay, thank you. Maybe that's where I got it wrong because I still increased. That's one. So it's clear now. Then the second question is that under your working capital there, please, in my work, although I started with this, but I had to cancel because when I went to your financial statement, I now saw 296 there in the question, million. So why didn't we use that? Or was that a poison for me to pick it? Because I actually canceled this one and started all over with that.
Where was 296 million in the question? I know Siam.
The question and the schedule. If you go to the schedule there in financial statement between Baba
Waiting,
and
nothing concern you on that one now. That one is for hold on. This 296.
yes.
Nothing concern you on this one now. This one is for you to do cost of capital. Nothing concern you with in this one. This one is cost of capital information, not this information. You understand what I'm saying? For cost of capital question, the question is divided into two now. Number one is for cost of capital.
A aspect of the question.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. And maybe that's my second poison that I used. So the third one was the capital allowance. Please, I don't know how you got the last figure there. Is it 29,600? I know how to get the 96, but how do you get the? Is it the cost minus the scrap value divided multiplied by
Get which figure? Relax, ma. Which figure?
the 25,600?
For 20% of this thing. Which one don't you know? Is it 25,600 or one?
I'm not using this formula. This is your method. I have a shortcut method. So I got all of this, but this 25,600, I'm not getting it. I don't know how you got it.
I don't know about your shortcut, but this 25,600 was 20% of 128,000. If you do 288 minus 160, you get your balancing allowance. 20% of it will give you this thing.
Okay.
20% of 128,000 will give you this, and that's your balancing allowance. If it was, it's positive. If it was balancing charge, it would have been negative. It's a taxable loss, but this one is taxable profit, so you had it. That's fine. Oh yeah. Miss Angela, your question. These questions are plenty. Miss Angela, talk to me. Okay, I'll take that.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
Please, I would like us to look at the working capital again. I tend to disagree, but I might be wrong. If you look at the write-up in the question, the paragraph under that table, it says initially, Baba Adam PLC will require additional working capital for the project of 20% of the first year's sales revenue. And if I recall correctly, you always told us that when they use the word initially, it means year zero. Or am I wrong? Because so if you also look at the way we arranged it in this correction now, you will see that the total ends up outside year 5. And I thought that the working capital should be recouped in year 5. So I don't know. Okay. Perhaps I'm wrong.
Two things where you're actually wrong is in the question, when the question says initially, yes, initially, currently, it all means year 0, which is what we did here. This year 1 is just, how would I say it? We are trying to get percentage of our sales. Our sales not start from year 0 now. This one we did here was just basically to get, if you check other ones we've been doing, there's always year 0. But this one is because our sales started from year 1. That's why it starts from year 1 so that we can get all the inflation. Then the moment we got it, our working capital going on, which is what we need, started from year 0, which is where the initially is. It started from year 0. All these ones is just to get our sales, our incremental sales, the differences before we can get our working capital. There is no this thing is based on our sales, so we cannot start from year 0 from the beginning. Our sales is not from year 0 now. Our sales is from year 1. So if you had tried from year 0, I don't know, you would have scattered the whole question. But this 30,000 is from year 1. But our working capital at the moment started from year 0. And working capital, yes, it is recouped at the end of the project now. And don't forget, anything that is recouped, I told you, what's the name now? All cash flow are assumed to be recouped at the end of the year. All cash flow are assumed to be recouped at the end of the year. So this is for year 5 now. So year 5 money has been spent. So the meaning is all this money will be recouped at the end of this next year. For this one, it means that at the end of this year 4, all the stuff will be recouped at the end of year 5. That's the meaning now. This is year 4. It means that all this cash flow, everything will be recouped at the end of year 5, which is why we had to have an extra year. Usually, we used to have an extra year with working capital. Usually.
Okay.
I don't know if my grammar makes sense. So. You're welcome. Oh yeah, Miss Fitia. Yeah. I think I'm taking. Okay, I have 2 more questions. So yeah, Miss Fitia.
I really want to understand the concept of that tax savings of capital allowance. Why do we have it? I don't really understand why.
Did you tax?
Yes.
Like, I think you will need to contact your tax lecturer again, or maybe collect your money or something. But but I was just joking. Anyways, how would I explain this thing now? When you do taxation, tax people don't take depreciation now. It's capital allowance that they charge. Instead of charging depreciation, they will charge capital allowance. So now there's something we call tax savings. Tax savings is just to reduce the amount you pay. Instead of paying, like let's say instead of paying 20,000 naira as tax, they will now give you tax savings on capital allowance. Let's say it can be like 5,000 just to reduce the 20,000 you will pay. So it's having as an inflow to you. You are not collecting money, but it's having as an inflow to you. It's in taxation now. She's having as an inflow to you. Just reduce the amount of tax.
We remove the old capital allowance or 66 to third of the capital allowance.
I didn't get you. Can you come again?
In tax, we remove the old capital allowance or 66 to third of the capital allowance. That's why I'm confused as to
that is for tax. In my SFM, do it like this.
Okay.
Thank you. Miss Ukachiya, last question, please. Oh, yeah. People have taken our MPV time. Ukachiya, 6 twos. I'm ending this class by 11:30. We finish our MPV. We did not finish. Now we'll go finish them. Let me just copy and paste. Let me see where we can stop.
Hello, sir.
I don't know. I think
my own is not a question. It's just that the sales, you change the computation you did. You use 8%, but in the write-up you still have 5% there.
I think it was you that brought this thing up initially.
Yes, sir.
I told you I've changed it now. I don't understand what you're saying. What I changed what to 5%?
The sales, the incremental
I don't even go copy that.
percentage of incremental is in sales. It's 8%, but to check at you see the left.
I should check what?
Check. Okay, look at it down there. Inflation at 5%. 5%. Then you not change it.
Oh, okay. Is it okay like this?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, please call my figures for me. My first year sales. Let me remove all these things.
30,000.
30,000.
86,400. 23,300. 23,300.
23,300.
233,300. 302, 280. 516,990.
516,990. My variable cost.
12,000. 33,600. 88,200. No, 33, not 8.
For which one now?
For the second year, 33.
This third one is what?
88,200.
Yeah, the second one.
33.
33 what?
600.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4. 111. 120. 184. 680. From our training and development course 14,400.
Hold on, please.
Fixed cost.
I don't forget to say that one video. Training. Yeah.
14,400.
Mhm.
13,440. 8,820. 11,112. 18,468. 6,000. 6,300. 6,615. 6,946. 7,293. Profits. First year, negative 2,400. 33,060. 129,665. 173,102. 306,549. 4,549.
Hold on, please. Big this thing bigger. Oh yeah.
For taxation at 20%. For year 2, 6,612.
Yeah, it's okay.
Are we going to tax that negative?
Yes, it's on the profit. It should be on year 1.
Give me my tax rate,
Because-
Abig.
Okay, at 20% for year 1, 2,400.
2,000.
480 is 480. 480.
That might be 480.
But you
480.
cannot tax a loss now. That's a loss now. Can you tax loss, Oga? It will be
Madam,
positive now.
Madam, the way you always fight with me, I don't appreciate it at all. At all. At all. See, I should leave it and maybe you come and take over. At least let me finish what I'm doing, but no, you just want to fight with me. Please, what's my figure, please?
480.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
480.
Next one.
6,612. 25. 6,612. 25,933.
25,933.
34,620. 6,1310.
6,1.
310.
So what's my tax saved?
96. 96. 96. 96. 25,6.
What's my initial outlay?
480,000.
My working capital.
Minus 6,000. Minus 5,640.
5,640.
640. Minus 14,690.
Minus 14,690.
Minus 6,898. Minus 21,471.
So who's unmuted, please? I'm disturbing my class.
Then the last one is 54,699. Positive.
Okay, sir. 4,699.
Scrap
Let's
value
go.
160,000 naira.
What's my net cash flow?
486.
486.
For year one, 2040.
Is it negative? Yeah, no negative.
Oh, positive.
Next one.
21,358.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for 21,358. Next one.
106,434.
106,434.
126,611. 126,611. Then 485,538.
Yeah. Discount factor 12%. Abi?
Yes.
I saw one student. One student was trying the. What's the name? The cost of capital. Was funny. I'm listening.
100. Okay. 0.893. 0.797. 0.712. 0.636. 0.567.
Yeah.
1822. 17022. 75,781.
Madam, are you just like putting into your calculator, or you already have them before?
I just calculating the NPV because I do not know what to do with year one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
80525. Then 275, sorry. 300. My NPV is negative 35. Negative 35,550.
550.
Yes.
Yeah. Did anybody get it? If you get it, send your account number to me.
I got it.
With solution.
So I got
But you
it
just,
too.
but you just said that.
It was not the year
you made
one. Apart from the
which one be? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean apart from? I know do. You did
So
not
I
get it.
got
What?
it.
Avoid me after I sent you like 1 billion voice notes. I know do. I will not take that. Somebody had not asked me and got it ahead, and best I go do transfer for. But me and you dragged it how many days?
Sir, but why
it.
did we do that out on year one?
You got it, Mr. Light. Nice one.
Yeah, I got it, but I didn't do that year zero. I was confused with that patent, right? I included it in the first place, actually.
Why are you now saying you got it? How did you now get it? You are funny. Oh. How did you get it? Missy, you want to tell me something?
Yes, I wanted to ask, in the question, they said something about the company has enough profits to account for loss or something like that. Please, can you explain that?
Okay, let me look for where it is. Dum, 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 dum. I don't see him again. No. What part is it? I cannot see it again. No. Okay, I've seen it. I'll get there. Please hold on, I'll get there. I'll get there. Please, let me take other questions. So I will explain. There's something I want to explain. Olanike, please your question.
Thank you, sir. I'm
You're
a
welcome.
little confused with this working capital because the method you've been using was we are going to check for the difference between the first and the second year, and that will be the increments or the changes. But we didn't do that now.
The question is different now. I already told you not to stereotype your mind to a particular way. That this is the way it's supposed to be. But this one is a little different now. It's different from the perspective of we are charging this thing on something now. We are charging this on something. A figure was not abstractly given it to us that this is this. Do you get? But it's because we are charging this on something. So we have to go in accordance with what we are charging it on. It's not as if there is a figure to it before. I don't know if I'm making sense. So my energy don't drain. Let me see. Coming up. You see, okay, this one too might not be able to. But even at that, it's still majorly the same way we do it. Even if you look at this one that we've done, this is about 20,000 naira a year. So we did incremental, that is the GOAT. But this particular GOAT was the 20% they gave us. Then we took differences. This one was still the same thing. Then we now took differences between these differences between these differences between these that we did relevant here. The only difference with this and that thing that we did is just that inflation rate. And inflation rate in this question just changed by a percentage. It just changed by a percentage. So instead of doing 1.0 Kinecon, 1 Kinecon, we just add this percentage, although we did the incremental. So this is still coming here. This minus this, this minus this, this minus this, this minus this. Then we add all of them, the percentage, we have them as this. Then we just put them to the relevant years. It's still almost the same thing. Don't cram it anyways. Just know the way. Solve more questions. I feel like you get used to it.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, let me answer a few questions that has actually been bothering us. Somebody wants to ask me something. Okay, nobody. Let me answer a few questions that has actually been bothering us. Mr. Amos, talk to me.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Well done. Thank you for the class. I was actually going through the discount factor because I just saw it 12. So when I went through the question, I saw it. So where I was even confused when I saw this information that has to do with estimated risks, free rates of return, historical market premium. So I was thinking we are going to calculate the cost of equity, but I discovered that it was the beta that is missing, and the cost of capital is already given. So there was no need. So I was clear on it.
Where was it given?
The cost of equity is in the B part requirement now. The discount, this thing used 12%. So that's why I was confused. When I saw this information that has to do with risk-free rates and historical market return, so I begin to say, okay, maybe the cost of equity we are going to use, we need to compute it using the information from the company that was listed, the other company.
You should have used it for requirement, but because I was not on that subject, I guess I'm not going back, so I told you guys not to do it. But you could have done something in whatever you got was what you got.
I tried that. The only thing I just got, because when I bring the CAPM formula, there was no beta. Beta is not given.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that go into that. Not just going against CAPM formula. I've done a lot of things.
All right.
Would have done no care.
Yes, I've seen the information here. So let me try it. I'll get back to you, sir.
All right. Yeah, for Labi Comfort, please ask me. I have something to explain. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's still on that working capital, sir. You know,
Wow.
sorry, why we not finding the differences again after we got the incremental working capital?
Incremental is differences now. Should I change this thing to differences? It's still the same thing. This minus this is still differences. It's still incremental sales. It's just terminologies that is different. So you're saying after this one, we're supposed to find differences again after a year? No, now. We don't usually find differences for working capital. How I want to blow this grammar now. What we've gotten here is our final working capital. Like after, I told you that it's only movement that you take to your books. Only movement of working capital. That is just what you take. All these ones, they are just the total money spent. I've explained that the way working capital works for you. You spend 30,000 in year one. In year two, you spend 56. You don't take the full amount because you are recouping some now. You spend 30,000 in year one. Year two, you now spend 56,400. Okay, now you spend 30,000. You put 30,000 as working capital in year one. At the beginning of year one, you recouped it at the end of year one. At the beginning of year two, they now told you that okay, the money we will spend is 56,400. That 56,400, are you going to bring it fresh? No, now maybe you already have 130,000 that you collected at the end of year one. Maybe you just add small to it. You just add 86. You just add 56,400 to it. Now to make 86,400. Okay, at the end of year two, you collected this 86,400 back. It's in your pocket. You now say, okay, beginning of the project in year three, you want to spend 233,300. Are you going to start running around for the full money? No, now you have 86,400 on ground. It's just you just go and bring the differences add to it. That's why this is the differences here. That's why it's only the differences that we take. It's only differences that becomes our working capital. It's only differences in the amount spent that becomes our working capital. But this one is the sales. So these differences, this is still our sales. This 30,000, 56,400 is still our sales. So the differences between them is what becomes our working capital. This 86,400 is still our sales. The differences between them. But at this point, this is our working capital. But because they told us that, okay, this is 20% of it, 10% of it, that's why we did all those things to get this thing. It's the differences that becomes our working capital.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Cute poison, please. This is your name. Last one, cute poison. Wow. Maybe now you didn't even cook a lot of things for me.
All right, thank you. It's Akorede. Sorry, my phone went off, so I need to use one person's phone to log in. It's Salah, brother. So, please help me to project that MPV again, cause.
Now don't stress me today. You'll buy me
Sorry.
Martin and me. Yeah.
Okay. The method I used in computing my own capital allowance, I used deduct and add back method. So I got all the net cash flow correctly, but I'm having issue with that year one and year two.
Yeah, please speak faster. What's the issue?
So the issue I'm having is that on my own year one, I'm having 8,040 naira, whereas we're having 2,040 naira here, and year two is 18,370.
I cannot say what the problem could have been, as I'm not saying it. I know it's only what I see that I can say. As I'm not saying that I cannot say what the difference. Just pick this thing compared to what you have. Look at the differences. I'm sure you see what was wrong with what you did.
Okay, let me.
I'll
go over it again, sir. So as regard the second part, I think we are good to go with the work. I still get 12%.
Okay, no, as long as you have 12%, now let me explain something. What I want to explain. But before I explain, let me address something, please. Let me address something before I explain. I feel like, I don't know, am I too nice? Do I joke too much? I don't know. I've been in other classes. I'm not even going to cap. I feel like this class is one of the most interesting classes because I try as much as possible to make it fun, to make you enjoy, to make you want to come. I could have also just come here, mute everybody, and I come and blow my grammar. Just, you understand, you just speak from beginning to the end. And when I go, I will say, do you understand? I'm sure I would have spoken to a very point where You guys cannot tell me no, because I've spoken a lot of things. So you guys say yes, we understand, and I will say okay, you're good, and I will close and I will go. I'm already chattered. So I don't have anything to bother about. It's you that have something to worry about. So what I'm saying in purpose is, I feel like for me to get to this point, I've lectured people that have passed a lot, except that have passed. So when I come here, it's rare for me to say something I don't know. It might be difficult for me to explain it. Sometimes there might be little mistakes here and there, but it's hard for me to come and say what I don't know. But there's 80% or 90% that you're saying what you don't know. Yes, now 80, 90, 95% of you saying what you don't know. And if I were you, I will calm down and learn. It's not that you could have practiced it, it has jived in your hand, but it still does not mean that you know more than the person that is explaining. Let's get that right. There's low probability of me coming here to say what I don't know. It's hard. If I come here to say what I don't know, students would have complained out since. And Mr. Kadu would have said, please excuse us. You get? So it's hard. And for me to be taking all these things, believe me, I know what I'm saying. And I know what I'm explaining. It's something that I understand very well. It's very clear to me. So what I'm saying exactly is better. It's better to relax and learn. Don't do, how would I say it? Don't do too much. Just calm down and relax. And when I say something, I feel like I've been respectful enough. I actually feel like I've actually been very respectful enough. I don't think I've insulted anybody. I've not. Please now, it's not fair if you now come and insult me and you now. There's one time too that there was an issue that was regarding me not checking assignment, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, there are ways to ask these things now. What happened? Or what's there? It's not you challenging me, and I'm saying oh God, all those things. It's not nice now. It's not nice. I feel like I've been very, very calm. I'm just chilling. So please let's take it easy on ourselves, I beg. So I'll explain what caused the issue. So the question says that when you will not come down and read question, you just want to solve. You just want to solve and put your hands to paper and just solve what's there. You don't understand question. It was written here, Bagada. Where did I sit that time that woman showed me? It was here, Bagada. I said, okay, the machine is expected to be sold at 160 at the end of the day. Now said the company makes sufficient profit from its other activities to take advantage of any tax loss relief available from this project. They make sufficient profit. So what this line simply means is whatever negative you have, there's enough profit to cover for that negative. So it means that you cannot have any negative. Let's go back to our book. Here now, this minus 2,400. They said that there is enough profit to cover for any tax loss that happens here. Naturally, normally, you would have said that, okay, maybe this would have been, what am I doing? Okay, they're saying that, okay, there's a loss here already, Abi. So you would have said, okay, maybe I should not charge tax or anything. But they've told you that, okay, there's enough profit to cover for this 2,400 loss that is happening. They have enough loss. So that means that they have to pay. That means there is no loss. They have to pay tax on everything. That changes the line of this year one. That's two-line statement. Changes the line of this year one. If there was no that, if that line was not there, fine. The question would have been different. This 480 might not necessarily appear because you cannot obviously charge loss now. You cannot charge any tax on loss. But just that line changes the question, which is what brought to this positive. Because what it simply means is this negative of 2,400 is a positive. What it means is it is a positive of 2,400. That is just simply what it means. So but because it was a negative, but that's why it has to convert to like a positive kind of thing. That is just simply what happened here. And all these ones, normal charge tax, normally. There's no magic. It's just that two-line statement that changed the whole bracket of the whole question. So that is basically what that line. That's basically what that line means. If you solve some questions and you don't see you see negative here, and there is no that line there, that there is no sufficient profit and blah blah blah, don't charge your tax. But for this particular question, there is that statement there, so it changes the entire dynamic of the question. I just hope that's clear. Is that fine? Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir.
So that's the line I wanted to explain. So Now, what would I say again? Okay, so please attempt the last two questions. The question 3 is simple. I would have done it, but it's simple. So you can attempt the last 3. The question 3 is basically the main problem in the question is on cost of capital. This is it number 3. I'll be the next. This number 4. This Abele Janyo. What they tested majorly is cost of capital. The NPV is not. See, it's not. How would I say it? It's not hard. It's not hard. So just try this NPV. It's just simple number NPV. The questions I tick here is this question 4, this question 5, sorry, and this question 6. This question 6 is not all that. But this question 5 is the one that is very, very thick. And there's nothing there. Just split them. Split this proposal. Proposal A, do his NPV separate. Proposal B, do his NPV separate. So there's one that you get a negative or you get a positive. It's not necessary. You can even get, that when you get two mutually exclusive projects, you pick the one with, if one has a positive, you pick the one with positive. But if it's not positive, you pick the one with higher NPV now. I don't know if you guys have forgotten. Pick the one with higher NPV. So just split the project. Split project A, then split project B. Then use all this information for project A to do to this NPV. Then use all of this information in project B to do this NPV. Everybody's supposed to get this project A correct. There's nothing there. This project B that has key leg. So what I'm expected to do, or what I would want to do is, I expect everybody to attempt it. If I see a very, very reasonable attempt, before, because next class I'm supposed to do introduction to adjusted present value and maybe solve some simple questions on it. So if I see a reasonable attempt on this particular question, I would come and solve proposal B in class, because I expect everybody to get, there's nothing in proposal A, it's still normal grammar that we've been blowing. Like, I'll come and solve proposal B in class. But this one, please attempt it, send to me. This other one, attempt it and send to me, then I'll tell you if you are correct. So from our next class, we'll move to adjusted present value. So it's most likely going to be next week, Monday. I don't think I have time on Wednesday. So most likely going to be next week, Monday. So I would come and I would explain and I would do introduction. And by that Monday, I think fasting should have ended. So our class might start earlier by 9, then, but we'll start taking longer hours, so 9 to 11:30 or so. So that is that. So we are starting adjusted present value next week. So I expect, or I beg everybody to try as much as possible to go through something before then, so that we can have a very, very smooth class. On that note, please, do I have any question, or does anybody want to say anything to me, please? Miss Miriam, talk to me. Oh. Yeah. Miss Miriam, yeah. Miss
So,
Miriam,
so I want to ask you a question. Under this taxation at 20%, the 480, I put my own in negative, but it still gave me the same 2040.
I'm lost. You put what in what?
The 480, I put it in negative, but when I calculated it, it still gave me the same 2040 naira. I don't know if I'm not supposed to put it in negative.
You put what in negative? You put this in negative.
Yes, the 480. But when I calculated it, it gave me the same cash flow, the net cash flow.
This one.
Yeah, when I calculated it, it gave me the same.
And this was in negative too.
No.
It would not. You're just in the opposite now, so it would most likely be the same thing. You are putting this in positive, then minusing this one, so it most likely. But if it's just like you're doing the other way, most likely give you the same thing.
Okay, so then for the last year 5, it's 61,309.8, I guess. But I did not round my own to 310. Is it still? I don't.
Which one is that? Don't just call figure. Tell me what you are saying.
So the year 5, the same line, but the year 5.
5 of what? Okay, of the tax.
Yes, sir.
Well, you could have just said year 5 of.
I didn't round my own to 61,310. I just did 61,309.
It would not. All those ones. It would affect, and the figure will reduce a little here, but all those figures are very, very significant. But let me tell you something. The way it works is, please, if you have started approximating from beginning, approximate to the end, though. You know now that you approximate small sum, you know approximate sum. If you're approximating from beginning at any point that you round up, please throughout round up. But if you have not been rounding up from beginning, you can continue. And please, the decimal, if you want to be using decimal, please maintain 2 or 3 highest, please. So if you've been rounding up, round up throughout. If you've not been rounding up, don't round up. Just be using it the way you've been using it like that. That's fine. But those little ones, they are insignificant to some point. They are rounding error now.
Okay, sir.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Sumiki, please your question. Yeah.
I just want to ask about the assignment. Aside from the proposal, which other one did you assist to do?
Just basically all the questions that we've not, the ones that have not solved. The last one, I think question 6, and the one before question 4.
All right. Thank you, sir.
But it's only that proposal B that I might want to solve, because that one has key leg. So it's the only one I might come to class. But the rest, I think you guys should have. You should have that on an express. It should not be a problem. That's if you've been listening to me, anyways. Yeah, Miss Bukola, yeah, talk to me.
Okay, good evening, sir. Please, my question is concerning that tax. If we have a tax loss, let's assume year 1, there's a tax loss, and that what is it called? The other clause is not standing in this question, assuming that we did not say that maybe they have enough profits to accumulate the loss. So that means that in year 2, we will not have tax, and we will not have any tax for year 1. Then year 2, we only have for only year 2. Or we are going to add year 1 and 2 together, and the thought is from year 2.
No, you're not adding anything together.
We
If
only
you have,
remove year 2.
you just do your tax rate on year 2.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
But please solve more questions. When I opened your pack, your ICANN pack, I actually saw a lot of MPV questions. Amazing ones. Fine questions. So please attempt them. So I want to challenge you guys to do something for me. Immediately after this class, look for May 2018 past question. May 2018. Now look at those questions. Then see and assume by yourself, deep down in your mind, that if these are the questions that comes out, if your ICANN questions are exactly like this, do you think you will pass? I want you to answer that question. Just look at it. If you think you will pass, those questions from number 1 to number 2 to number 3, even to the theory part, they are basically everything we've done. Everything from bond valuation to portfolio theory to MPV. Just look at, I think that MPV is even what we finish solving. I'm not so sure. I think it's where we finish solving. But anyways, just look at it and assume yourself that, okay, if they bring something like this, what I'm trying to let you know is these things we are doing, they are practical. I'm not picking them from heaven. That is where they are coming from. And that is somebody's exam diet. May 2018 is not far. That's somebody's exam diet. So you can meet something like this. So don't just be assuming and that. So these questions are live and real questions. So look at those questions and see what you can do. If I were you, I will attempt the bond valuation question. I will attempt the portfolio theory question. Then the MPV is this one I just finished solving. So I will close my book and I will solve the MPV question again. The theory, so I will attempt it. I will now go to the back and mark myself so that you see how far you are ready or you are prepared for this exam. On that note, Mr. Tunde, what's up now? Yeah, Mr. Tunde. Want to go. Okay, Mr. Kiton, you still want to ask me something, that is. Okay. Anyways, on that note, I would like to say we have finally come to the end of this class. Don't forget we are starting adjusted present value next week.